What's going on, guys? So I'm back again with another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about protein and why protein is so important if you want to be able to lose weight and keep it off in the long term. So there's three main reasons why you will get better fat loss, and you're more likely to keep that fat off if you eat a higher protein diet. And the first reason is just because protein has a much higher level of satiety. So if you have a diet that's low in protein compared to a diet that's higher in protein, you're going to feel fuller on a higher protein diet, which is going to make it much more easier for you to be able to adhere to your calorie deficit. You know, so if you want, it's really important that I keep saying it, but it's really important that a lot of people understand that the way you lose body fat is being in a calorie deficit, and you need to be implementing things in your diet or the way or your habits and your behaviors that can allow you to adhere to that calorie deficit for the longest period of time, because that's what's going to allow you to lose body fat. So if you're having foods that are filling you up more than foods that are not, obviously you're going to be able to adhere to your calorie deficit for a much longer period of time. It's just going to feel so much easier being able to do that way. So if you eat a high protein diet, you are just going to feel much fuller throughout the day. The second reason is because protein has a higher thermal effect than carbohydrates and fats. So basically what that just means is just that when we digest food, it's not like 100% efficient process. We have to put energy in to be able to get that energy out. So protein is about 20 to 30% depending on where you get your protein source. So in this example, let's just use whey. So whey on average is about 30% thermal effect. So basically what that just means is that if I have 100 calories from whey protein, I have to put in 30 calories to be able to break that down and to be able to use those proteins. So I have a net balance in this case of only 70 calories. Whereas if you take a carbohydrate, on average that's about 4%. So if I'm eating 100 calories from a carbohydrate, I'm putting in 4 calories to be able to get that energy and to be able to use that energy. But I now have a net balance of like 96 calories. So basically what that just means is when you have a higher protein diet, you are you're being a bit more wasteful with how you use energy, because protein just requires just that little bit extra to help break it down. And that's quite a big difference, really. 4% compared to 30%, that's a significant difference. And this is what we see in studies where we compare high protein diets compared to low protein diets, even when calories are controlled. So let me just give you an example. Let's say we have two women, and they're twins, they have the same type of body shape, they live the exact same type of lifestyle, they burn the exact same amount of calories. But one twin's on 1500 calories and she has 50 grams of protein, and the other twin, so the second twin, is on 1500 calories as well, but 150 grams of protein. The twin two will lose significantly more body fat on that diet because she is eating almost 3 times the amount of protein compared to the other twin. Third and final reason, and probably the most important, is because protein allows us to be able to either build muscle or retain muscle. Now, muscle, being able to hold onto muscle or being able to build new muscle really does get downplayed in the media, and I don't think people realize how freaking important it is to really be able to keep the muscle that you have at the very least. If not, you should be trying to build more. If you want to be able to lose weight and keep off in over a long period of time, people who are more muscular just find it so much more easier to do, and that is because they have a higher level of activity. If you have a better body composition, meaning that you have more muscle compared to as much fat as you have, so that muscle to fat ratio, if you have a higher muscle to fat ratio, so you have a lot more muscle than you do fat, you are just going to be much more active naturally. You're going to just move around more, fidget more, and being able to lose weight is just going to, and keep it off, is just going to become much more easier to do. So now the only question is how much is enough protein? So the general guidelines are anywhere from like 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kg of body weight. I like to just round it up to 2 because it's the math is just easier, and usually most people are dieting, so I always try and aim towards that little, the higher side. And again, it's just so much more easier to work out. So as an example, let's just say we take a man who's 70 kg. Sorry. So yeah, a man who's 70 kg, he would need to have about 140 grams of protein a day. Let's just say there's a woman who's like 55 kg. Had to be extra and choose 55, didn't I? And that will be 110 grams every single day. It's not that hard to hit that much protein, I think, especially if you're throwing in shakes. Women do struggle with this a lot more than men. Like, men will find that very easy. In fact, a lot of men will be like, that's actually kind of low. But that's what the guidelines are, and all the studies show that if you go higher than 2.2, you really don't get no extra benefit. So yeah, like it's not that difficult to hit, but again, like, protein is extremely important, and you need to be making sure that you're hitting enough protein if you want to be able to lose weight and keep it off in the long term. Again, higher thermal effect, higher protein diets, you lose more body fat, greater level of satiety. Again, being consistent in your diet is extremely important, and anything that you can do that can increase adherence is going to be vital. So, increasing protein for satiety reasons is obviously a very good idea. And then again, muscle retention is extremely important. A lot of people, when they go on diets, they lose a significant amount of muscle mass, and then they say they've been yo-yo dieting on and off about 5 to 10 years. They will get to that point where they're going, like, my metabolism's fucked and I can hardly eat anything and lose body fat. And the reason is because they've lost a lot of muscle mass in that time. Well, not a lot, but they've lost a decent amount of muscle mass in that time, and they've never gained it back. And so they're, after 5 to 10 years of yo-yo dieting, their metabolism is actually worse off now than what it was when they prior to that phase of going through the yo-yo dieting. Lastly, just want to add that, if you're someone who's severely overweight and you have like a lot of a lot of body fat to lose, trying to get 2 grams per kg is going to be, probably very difficult for some of you guys to do, because you are just that much, heavier. So what I would recommend is maybe go even a bit lower than the 1.6, maybe go to the maybe 1.4, maybe 1.2, at least just at the start of your journey. And the reason why it's probably okay for you to go that low is because you've probably got enough body fat and enough stored energy to allow you to keep going and to allow you to keep recovering and hold on to that muscle mass.